Hey my people, it is the showstopper Mr. Leopard one more time. So I have already commented on the elements of security and national security in the debacle of the deputy president traveling or attempting to travel to Uganda a few days ago. And I said that our media is playing ignorant. Our media is playing lazy because they're not asking the hard questions. They're not asking the difficult questions, and they are doing a disservice to the Kenyan citizens as the fourth estate. Why do I say so? Now, we might say that, yeah, he's being judged unfairly, but this time round, the good doctor of botany had an opportunity to explain himself on Inoro TV, and I'm quoting him verbatim. What exactly do I mean to say? He was asked about the trip, what he was doing. So what did he do? He gave us a preamble and said that his relationship in Uganda with Museveni goes back, the other people with friendships with Museveni. And in his case, he had actually assisted an investor who needed money, who has already invested in Kenya, I don't know where, but needed to invest some more in Uganda and needed money. And this money could only be gotten from Equity Bank, and the good deputy president needed to make that right phone call. He made the call, and the guy got money in billions, about 15 billion, to go and set up a center in Uganda, a vaccine making center. And so his initial trip to Uganda is because ule jama alikuwa anarudisha mkono. I'm quoting him verbatim. That's Dr. William Ruto saying himself. That aside, so he now explains that this is a follow-up of activities and discussions that had already taken place between him and the M7. And he said that his discussions with M7 before were based really on agriculture and food security. And so he asked M7 that, okay, he says that M7 told him that initially Uganda was a food insecure country, that they didn't have sufficient food to feed its people, and they were able to come out of that ditch and go to a place where they are able to feed their own people and have a surplus to export to Kenya. And William Ruto gave the evidence and the witness that actually the Kenyan people feel the pressure of the surplus which comes from Uganda. And so this particular trip that had issues was born out, according to William Ruto, was born out of a follow-up to have further discussions about how Kenya can benefit on that. And it was supposed to be a learning moment. It was supposed to be a learning moment from the Ugandan people, and William Ruto was supposed to go and learn on how M7 has put in place the wealth fund. And the wealth fund was explained properly by Dr. William Ruto as the epitome of the bottom-up economy, where government puts money into that wealth fund and puts it in cooperatives that support milk production and livestock farming and agriculture and all that. And this money is what helps the people to actually rise. Well, maybe Kenya is steps ahead of that, but that's not the point. We have had his own bloggers and his own communication experts, the likes of David Itumbi, of Dennis Itumbi, telling us that there was this guy who's being branded a terrorist as an excuse, but he's actually an investor in modern fruit farming. Oscar Sudi spoke about it. And so this is the guy they were to meet up there. And they were supposed to have discussions on agriculture, okay, on wealth fund from M7, and maybe discuss some business with this gentleman whose name has slipped my mind. But Oscar Sudi tells us in his tweet that he's an expert and an investor in modern fruit farming. That is not the problem. This is my problem, guys. With whom was Dr. William Ruto traveling to Uganda? He was traveling with Oscar Sudi and Ndindi Nyoro. Let me not speak so much. Ndindi Nyoro was my schoolmate at Kenyatta University, so yeah. Oscar Sudi, yes, he is what he is. I don't want to belittle the guy at all. I don't want to be told kumbaf. But this is my point. With whom was William Ruto going on this fishing expedition? With whom was he going to attend this workshop? With whom was he going to take the notes? Even the good minister for, you call him minister for nothing, when he went to, okay, when the president makes foreign trips that are supposed to be discussions around issues of investment and investment opportunities, whether we're talking about AGOA, whether we are talking about bilateral trade agreements between countries and nations, the president carries along his experts. And I'm asking myself, how presidential was William Ruto on this particular private trip, even if it was a private trip. So who are the experts in agribusiness? Who are the experts in fruit, in horticulture? Was he the expert because he has a PhD in botany? And that tells you that if William Ruto gets into power, he is going to give you exactly what Daniel Arap Moi gave us in his rule, where the president is in charge of every ministry, and he will put a doctor of medicine in charge of the central bank, so that unless the president himself makes the call, or you get that call from Kulei and the other total guys, you will not do anything until he says so. William Ruto will give you the Moi rule, where he is the expert in agriculture, he is the expert in economics, he is the expert in horticulture, he is the expert in politics, he is the expert in finance, and there are no technocrats on his board. Where was Dr. David Ndii on this trip for the economics of it, the bottom up? Where were the technocrats? That's his role. See ya. And these are the things we're supposed to be seeing. That's what I expect the media to get busy trying to ask these kind of questions, not to feed us with hot air.